I was watching some Adam Neely stuff while I was editing, and I came across something that I do actually want to show you guys. I was completely blindsided by it. Have you noticed that whenever I change my offset, whenever I mess about with my offset, it's always in like even numbered like shifts. I seem to always go like -4, -6, -10, -12, stuff like that. And I'm just, 2 milliseconds, it just seems right. 2 milliseconds seems okay to me. Like, it's the when things sort of get into line and mesh and get good. But I found in this super fast... Oh, hi! It was here.
How do you jam over the internet with all the sound delay and stuff? Is it even possible?
That's the neat thing.
You don't.
Competitive gamers have this wonderful term called click-to-photon latency. It's the amount of time that it takes to
Which, by the way, I've never heard click-to-photon latency before.
click a mouse and have something happen on the screen. This can be affected by
How
any number of
pretentious does
factors,
that sound?
like the
Click to
refresh rate of the
photon
monitor
latency.
or the input lag of the mouse.
21 milliseconds from click to seeing something happen. That's really fast.
20 milliseconds of click-to-photon latency is considered ultra low. In the professional audio world, 20 milliseconds of latency is unacceptable, honestly. That's way too much latency. You see, humans are much more sensitive to discrepancies in timing in the audio domain versus the visual domain. We perceive two events to be simultaneous, like the motion of my hand and something occurring on the screen, if they occur within a 25 millisecond window. But that window is 10 times smaller for audio events in simultaneity, 2 milliseconds, which means that when musicians interact with technology, we demand very low latency. For me personally, anything more than 5 milliseconds of latency from the time that I pluck the string on my bass to when I hear the sound coming out is almost too much. So there's a weird uncanny effect that happens.
Now, let me just wind that back.
For audio events in simultaneity, 2 milliseconds. Which
Holy shit. Am I just average?
within a 25 millisecond window.
So if 25 milliseconds between motion, like visual stimulus, means that it is the same thing. Like if I move my mouse and then my cursor moves within 25 milliseconds, I am perceiving it as happening in the same time frame, right? Just by visual temporal perception, it is happening at the same time. But if an audio event happens outside of 2 milliseconds apart, the human brain can tell up to that interval that it is wrong. So if I'm shifting my offset by 2 milliseconds, that means I can tell that it is off time, and I am retiming it so that it is correct. It is how I'm reading this, is how I'm choosing to...
events to be simultaneous, like the motion of my...
So temporal precision, hearing is the most accurate. Two stimuli of equal subjective intensity were perceived as being temporally discrete, so which means temporally separate, like two different things. If separated by 2 milliseconds for monaural and binaural stimulation. Touch being less accurate, 10 to 12 milliseconds, which is also really interesting, but still better than sight, which is 25 milliseconds. And that's a 1968 study. Do you know what that also means, right? Is if input on laser... Right, hear me out, okay? I know it's crazy, but hear me out. If input on laser is different by a sum that is less than either touch, like 10 to 12 milliseconds, or sight, which is 25 milliseconds, right? Does that mean that you notice it through feeling, but you don't notice it visually? Because in essence, it is still happening simultaneously, because you're seeing it happen at the same time as you're moving, but it's just different. It's happening at different simultaneously, right? And that's why people feel things that are wrong, but they can't tell you what they think is wrong, because everything is happening at the same time still, just not the same at the same time. It's a different at the same time. I don't know, just put the cursor in the circle, bro.